Hello, St. Peter's. Welcome back. It is our 7th summer reading adventure. Can you believe it? We're already on number 7. Joy and I are back home with our friends, Ralph, Magic Monkey, and Daisy. Here's Joy. We had a great time on our train trip, but we're so happy to be back home with our friends. Now, I'm in my backyard today, and there's a frog that keeps making a lot of noise. So if you hear him, we're just gonna have to ignore him. I can't get the frog to stop. Can you hear it? I hope so, because I can hear it here. All right, let's get ready and see what we have in our adventure pack today. I'm excited to show you, of course, what do we always have? A water bottle. Oh, we have a fun activity when we're done with the story today, but I'm not going to show you yet. That's a surprise. Here is our book. But before we read our book, we have to get ready for the story. So let's turn up our ears so we're ready to listen. Turn off our mouths so we don't make a sound. Put your hands quietly in your lap. Take a nice big deep breath. And now we're ready for our story. It's July, right? We just had the 4th of July. That means summer is officially here. And when I think of summer, I think of baseball. So today, I'm going to read you this very silly story about a baseball game, and then I'm going to show you a new way to play baseball. Can you believe it? All right, let's get right into it. This is called the Jungle Baseball Game. So you can see we have a monkey here, and we have a hippopotamus. Our author is Tom Paxton, and our illustrator is Karen Lee Schmidt. Let's see what happens at this jungle baseball game. Here we go. Wow, look at that. They are definitely in the jungle. Ring-a-ling-ling! The telephone rang way up in the coconut tree. Mr. Monkey ran to answer. Someone's calling me. Mr. Hippo on the line yelled, Am I getting through? Get your monkey baseball team. We want to play ball with you. Ooh, that sounds fun. Look at his phone. It's a banana. Of course it is. Silly monkeys. Let's see. Okay, that's it. When the monkeys saw the hippos, all they did was laugh. Those slowpokes should just be glad to get our autograph. Oh, that's not very nice. Watching the hippos warming up, they laughed themselves to tears. Jumping around the dugout, they led their fans in cheers. They are not being very good sports right now. You should never laugh at the other team. It's not nice at all. But look at this, they're laughing even harder. Wacka wacka hoo boy, tie him with a rope. Poor old hippos haven't got a hope. Those monkeys are not very nice. A chimpanzee played out in left. A baboon stood in right. The orangutan on the pitcher's mound was a most impressive sight. Little monkeys in the field were the quickest ones of all. Far as the hippos hit the pitch, those monkeys caught the ball. So even if they hit it way out to this guy out here, they still caught it. So they are good baseball players. Oh boy, looks like they're having trouble, doesn't it? As they watched the monkeys play, the challengers were glum. They could never lick the champs. Oh, the hippos felt so dumb. Missing pitches, dropping fly balls, tripping over feet. Nervously, they thought about the team they could not beat. So they're not playing very well. I think those monkeys making fun of them made them really nervous to play. Have you ever felt like that? Those monkeys shouldn't have done that. Everyone wants to play a fair game. Let's see what happens. On and on the monkeys laughed, though no one scored a run. Inning after inning, they just played for fun. Their fans were up and shouting, creatures whooped and cheered. They gobbled up the hot dogs as the popcorn disappeared. The monkeys went on jeering till the hippos cried, "Enough!" Grimly they played harder and vowed to show their stuff. They all buckled down, and so, in spite of their great weight, they played so well that not one prancing monkey crossed the plate. They are not going to let those monkeys score. Now, the hippos swung their bats as if they meant to win, thundering around the bases while their fans began to grin. The monkeys stared in wonder. They'd never been outdone, till all at once, with 4 base hits, the hippos scored a run. Hooray! The monkeys knew they had to score or kiss the game goodbye. It was now the bottom of the 9th, time for do or die. First the chimpanzee struck out. "Strike 3," the orangutan heard. Then a baboon got a hit and ran all the way to 3rd. Are they going to catch up? Let's see. Now the monkeys saw their chance. Their hopes began to rise. Finally, they saw the way to beat those tubby guys. Still, the monkeys had 2 outs. Their manager chewed his hat. He could hardly bear to look as the gorilla came to bat. Everybody's nervous. The gorilla stepped up to the plate and took a practice swing. His hat looked like a tree trunk when he twirled it like a sling. Then the pitcher wound up, and a perfect curve she threw. "Strike 1," called the umpire. And the next pitch was strike 2. Uh-oh. First the wind-up, then the pitch, then a splitting crack. Up, up, up the baseball soared. Would it ever be coming back? Every anxious pair of eyes searched the cloudless sky. No one there had ever seen a baseball fly so high. Wow, he really whacked it up there. When the ball headed back toward Earth, a wind came from the north. It tossed the ball from side to side and blew it back and forth. Round in circles a hippo ran, turning and spinning about, until he dove and caught the ball, and the umpire yelled, "You're out!" The hippo caught it. That's so exciting. Now the game was over. The victory was sealed. All the jungle creatures cheered the hippos on the field. What a celebration of hippo glory, hippo fame, for the proud, triumphant winners of the jungle baseball game. Look how excited they are. Wacko, wacko, hoo boy, tie him with a rope. Poor old monkeys didn't have a hope. Now who's cheering? The end. Look, there's a little song at the back. So I guess in this song, in this book, it turns into a song. We're not going to sing it today, but that could be cool for another time. The jungle baseball game. Well, I liked the game, but I wasn't really happy about the way that the monkeys were teasing the hippos. And then I didn't really like at the end of the game when the hippos kind of teased the monkeys back, right? It's better if you have good sportsmanship. Do you know what that means? That means if you are playing a game, whether it's a baseball game or a soccer game or a basketball game, a football game, you still are kind and you encourage the other team just like you encourage your team. So that way everyone can have fun. Then if you win or lose, you don't feel so bad because everyone was playing the game. But it was kind of a silly book to read and get us in the spirit of baseball, because do you want to see what I have for us today? This is exciting. Now, I know you can go out and play in your backyard and play a baseball game. We know the rules of baseball, and I know you've learned them in gym class. But what if it's really hot and you need a break in the shade? Or a thunderstorm comes through and you need to go inside? Maybe you can play a baseball board game, and I'm going to show you how to make it. This is our game board. So we have home plate, first base, second base, third base, a visitor side, and a home side. But that's not all. That's just the board. You also need markers to mark your running your bases. So for my game, I went around my house and I found some buttons. You just need 3 for each team. So I thought the buttons could go with the home team. And I found some jelly beans. You might have Skittles or M&Ms or mints, or you could use paper clips. You could use coins or pennies. And so what you're gonna do after you have your board is you're gonna set those on the home side and set the other 3 on the visitor's side. First, I'm gonna show you how to make the game board, and then I'm gonna show you how to play. Because you need a board and you need a dice or some pieces in order to move your places. All right, so I used a paper plate. I like the paper plate idea because it'll keep everything on the plate without sliding off, but you can just use a piece of paper too. That's okay. It doesn't even matter. So get out your crayons or your markers, whatever you like to use. And I'm gonna show you how I made this board. So first I made the bases. Now home plate is a little different, but it's all the way at the bottom, right? So home plate, I want you to draw kind of like you're starting to draw a door. So you're gonna go up, over, and down, okay? Just like a door. But then at the bottom, home plate has a point. So we're gonna go in, slanty line, and a slanty line. So you're kind of gonna make a V at the bottom of your door. So we made a door, 1, 2, 3, and then we made a V at the bottom. That's our home base. Right? That's home plate. And then the other bases are just squares. So we're gonna go this way and make a square for first base. Then we're gonna go up and it's gonna be in line with home plate, but at the top, you're gonna make third base. And then you're gonna come over on the other side across from first base to make third base. So we have home plate, first base, second base, third base. You don't have to put the numbers in. I just did so you could see where we're at, okay? So then, when you run the bases, you're usually in dirt, right? So I'm gonna find a brown crayon. Is that brown? Oh, that's gold. I could use gold, but I wanna use brown today. So, circle home plate, circle first base, circle second base, and circle third base. Okay, that's the dirt around it. And then you're gonna make the path. So just draw 2 lines like that, make the path from home plate to first base, then from first base to second base, and another path from second base to third base, and finally third base to home plate. Okay, and then you color that in. That's the dirt. When you see, if you ever watched baseball or played baseball, sometimes they slide into the base and then they get their pants all dirty. That's because the ground is dirt for a couple reasons. Number one, if you ran on grass and you had to start and stop really fast, you might slide and hurt yourself because grass is a little slipperier than dirt. But also, when you do have to slide, this dirt is very soft, kind of sandy-like. So when you slide, you're not gonna hurt yourself, you hope, if you learn how to slide the right way. If you play baseball, your coaches teach you how to slide the right way. But that's why there's dirt. This is called the infield. The place where you run the bases is called the infield. So if this is the infield, what do you think the place is out here where the players stand waiting for the balls to be hit? Right, the outfield. And the outfield is usually grass. So then you're gonna find your green crayon and color in your outfield, okay? It actually kind of looks like grass if you do it on a plate like this that has the ridges at the end. So you would color all of this. And you know what? This is your baseball field. If you don't want your grass to be green, it doesn't have to be green. Maybe you want orange grass today. Maybe you want red, white, and blue grass because we just had the 4th of July. Maybe you like rainbow grass or pink grass. It could be anything. I'm going to make mine green. I like the way that it looks with the infield and the green grass. Okay. Now all you need, it doesn't matter what color you use, on one side, up one base line, you're going to write home. Oops. See, I'm writing it on my hand, so it comes out kind of funny. Home. Or if you want to name your team something, you could name your team. And then with a different color, on this side, we're going to write visitor. So that's the team that is like, or away, the away team. So visitor is VISITOR. So visitor is a long word, but that's okay. So then you're going to find, before we find our tokens, we need to know how to move. How are we going to move on the bases? I have 3 options for you. So when it's your turn, you can use a die. One of them is called a die. You take some dice. So here's what I did. I left the 1 dot. So if you roll that, you go to first base. I left the 2 dot. If you roll that, you go to second base. And I left the 3 dot. Where do you think you go if you roll 3? That's right, third base. But then there is no 4th base, 5th base, and 6th base. So instead, I taped on I just used a little tiny piece of paper that I cut out, and I taped it on here, and I made an S. That means strike. So if you roll that, that's your first strike. You can only have 3 strikes, remember, or you're out. Then on the other space, I made a B. That means a ball. So if you get a ball, if you get 4 balls, that means you get to walk to first base, just like in real baseball. And then the best one, this one, I wrote home run. So if you roll that, you automatically get a home run and you score. Okay? So that's how you play, is you just roll and it tells you where to go. Now, don't worry if you don't have any dice at home, because I have another idea. You can just make out of, I have 2 ideas here. Just with those little pieces of paper, I kind of folded them in half and put tape on them so they would be a little bit stronger. I wrote all those same things. So I have a 1, I have a 2, and I have a 3 for the bases. 1, 2, 3 for the bases, and I have an S for a strike, a B for a ball, and a home run. So those you would just put in a bowl of any size that you have and shake them up, and then you don't peek, and when you pull one out and when you draw it, I got a strike. So if you get a strike, you put it back in, mix them around again. I got 2 strikes. Oh my goodness, I better stop while I'm ahead. The other idea I had was the papers might get bent up. So if you have some coins, I used pennies at my house, see? And then I just taped the same thing onto my pennies. Oops. But that way, if you play it a lot and you put them in your bowl, they're not going to get bent up, right? And it's the same thing. Just going to pick one. Oh, I got to first base. So that's how you can play if you don't, I just did a penny on the ground. If you don't have a die, you can make them like that. So let's play, okay? So now I have my bases. I use buttons for one team. So I'll put them on the home side. You only need 3 because there's 3 bases, and once they get home, you're done. And then you might need, I have 3 for the other side, just a little piece of paper. Now remember, in our adventure pack, we should have a notebook in here. Let's see. I do. So because I have my notebook and I have my pen, I can keep score. So I can write down home, or you can put your name, okay? If you want to be a certain team name, if you want to be just your own name, and then you can put visitor. Okay, but if you want to be like the Indians versus the Cubs, you could do that. It could be anything. It could just be your name, right? It could be Noah versus Ariana. Anything like that. So then when you play, you have your board. Now I'm only going to leave the home buttons on because I have to hold it up like this so you can see. So now if I roll my die, actually let's just draw a penny. You can see it better. I'm going to draw a penny and I got a 1. So that means my first button gets to go to first base. See that? Now yours would be on the table so it would lay flat. So my first button is on first base. Then I pick another one. Without looking, I pick another coin. I got a 2. So that means that's my next batter, right? It's not this guy. He's got to move up 2 and my batter gets to move up 2. So he's on first base. He's going to go 1, 2 bases. And my guy who just batted, it's hard to do it when I'm holding it up. He gets to go 2 bases. 1, 2. So now I have someone on second base and third base. Let's see what my next batter is going to do. I dropped him on the ground too. Let's get it. Okay, let's see what I'm going to pull for my next batter. Another 2, a 2-base hit. So that means this guy comes home, score 1 run. Oops. My guy who is on second base gets to go 2, 1, 2. Score 2 runs, and my batter gets to go 2. So that one does not want to stay. He is on second base. All right, so now I scored 2 runs in my notebook where I put my home and visitors. Now, there it is. I was playing with the home team. I scored 2 runs, so I'm just going to make 2 hash marks, right? You keep going like that until you strike out. When you get 3 strikes, you're out. All right? Or you could play that after you get 5 runs, it's the other person's turn. Just then it wouldn't take quite as long. Depends how long you want to play. So that is how you play a homemade baseball tabletop game. What do you think? Pretty cool, right? I would love to see what yours look like and tell me about the kind of tokens that you decided to use and how you made your pennies. Now, as I'm thinking it through, you could add other things. Like you could put in more tokens that has like a big X that you're automatically out. You could put something in that, oh no, you got hit with a pitch, so you automatically get to take a base. That's up to you. You can add things to the game or take things away, however you want. What do you think? All right, if you do this game, I want to hear all about it. So put it in the comments, take a picture of it, let me know how you like doing it, okay? All right, next, you know what we have to do? Time to spread some joy. Come on, Joy. I don't know what happened to Daisy. She must be taking a walk. That's okay. Maybe she saw something out in the yard. She wanted to go chase a butterfly. That happens sometimes. Daisy loves butterflies. So she probably saw one and went out to get it. Let's see how we're going to spread our joy today. I think that Omri put this in here when we were at school, and it says, tell someone you're special, right? Tell someone you think that they're special. How amazing would that be to brighten someone's day? Maybe they're having a bad day. You can come up to them and say, I think you're really special. That is going to put a smile right on their face. And what a great idea, Omri, of how we can spread some joy. Thank you for sharing that. If you have ideas of how to spread joy, you can put those in the comments too, and I will add them to my jar. We're going to tell people that they're special today. I like that way of spreading joy. We have one more thing we have to do. This is my favorite part. Now that we've completed another summer reading adventure, you need to find your summer reading log. And look what I did. I colored in my grass. I just thought it needed a little more pizzazz. So I'm going to get my crayons out. And you know how I like to just pick a color that I don't look at. Ooh, what color is this? It's fancy. Magenta. All right, I keep picking this purple family. purpley pink family. So I'm going to color in the next caterpillar segment, as we like to call it. Ooh, this magenta crayon is kind of coloring purple and pink at the same time. It's very cool. Look at it. Isn't that neat? Okay, let's see how many we've done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, we are almost halfway done with our caterpillar. So cool. All right, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed our summertime adventure and you get out there and maybe play some baseball in your yard and then go play some paper plate baseball and let me know if you made up any new rules that I can add to mine, okay? All right, until next time, don't forget to tell people that you think that they're special. That'll really brighten their day. So until next time, boys and girls, go out there, enjoy the summer, and don't forget, keep spreading your joy.